Hey Geminis, and welcome to your April 2017 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky, and I'm here to give you guys hopefully another amazing reading for your month ahead. So, wow, you guys have so much major arcana in your reading. You have so much heavy and beautiful energy coming forward for you. It looks like you're kind of living on both extremes of the experience right now, Gemini, and I feel like you're honoring both halves of yourself, but at the same time, both halves of yourself are kind of spinning out of control. And at the same time, they're very energized to accomplish what they both want. So it's really come down to being able to balance that for you, having temperance reversed as your central theme here. And maybe you feel like you can't balance the two aspects of your personality, or you feel like you're really struggling to balance yourself. And as that sort of becomes your challenge for April, you see a lot of new things coming to fruition. You see a lot of potentially old secrets or old things that were hidden from you suddenly come to light. And this may be difficult for you, Gemini, but at the end of the day, it's giving you a lot of creative passion, a lot of creative ability to manifest in the future. It's connecting you with the more internal version of yourself, and sort of the internal version of yourself that's deeper than those two aspects of your personality, sort of represented by the twins, because Gemini is the archetype of the twins. So, but even deeper than those two aspects is like this part of yourself that I'm sort of relating with the High Priestess here, where you have just an inner solidity that can be hard for you to access sometimes, but it does exist in Gemini because you've come from Taurus. Taurus is your previous sign where you developed that inner solidity and the inner stability. And then Gemini comes and creates a new layer that has like two different people and two different aspects of personality, which is what is channeling most obviously for you guys this month. But it's going to be a great month for you guys to trust in the formula, to suspend disbelief a little bit, to maybe allow some healing to come in. It'll also be a good month for you guys to start a new exercise or diet, something that gives you strength back, because I feel like you might be a little bit malnourished, or you're not eating enough. Maybe you're eating too much. There's something a little bit out of balance with your systems, and your, again, just your inner stability is off kilter, so maybe that just means that some more prioritization of yourself, of your body, of your bodily system will do you really good in April. There are also a lot of people coming in for you guys, a lot of chatter around you, and that makes sense because Gemini is communication. You're ruled by the planet Mercury, which is the planet of communication and relating to other people at kind of a nonchalant level. So that's definitely happening for you guys this month. I see very fiery people coming in and also earthy people coming in. And there could also be someone from your past who you don't really want to be dealing with as much, but they may also be a big part of April. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and look at this reading from the week-to-week standpoint, and we'll see what specifically is coming forward for you guys. So the first week of April seems kind of shocking for you, and I feel like this is coming from March and even a lot of the end of 2016 and beginning of 2017. It's the Tower over the Nine of Swords reversed. This is kind of similar to an energy that Scorpio was experiencing. So if you guys have any Scorpio in your chart, I would recommend that you watch that reading as well. You're feeling destabilized, and it's like it's more of a mental battle than it is an actual physical battle. This may even be something that happened a long time ago, and it doesn't really even have any repercussions at this point in time, but you're still having to deal with it. Or maybe you're just now taking the time to deal with it, or it's just hit you. Now is the time, Gemini, that you can come to realize that your foundations as a person may not have been that stable, and you're finally being given the opportunity to redo those with the Tower. So it's better to look to the foundation versus what's falling from above. It's better to look towards the future a little bit and be comfortable in the present, because that archetype is here for you guys. And if you focus too much on what might be going wrong, then it's possible that you're going to get, again, into the Nine of Swords mentality, where you're very worried and very anxious and unable to sleep. So this can be a good time for you, though, because it's like you can finally realize the times of your life where you were there, where you were in the place of the Tower and the Nine of Swords, and you can gain new power from that, being that we've crossed over equinox time, and now it's about reaching out instead of going in as much. So it's very much an internal battle for you in the first week, and throughout April to an extent. but it's like you can see the times of your life where this happened before and use that in a new way to reach towards what you need now. So that's definitely the best way to try, or I would say the most healthy way to try and manifest that energy if you can. It's also a good time to make sure that the things in your life are functioning at a higher level, or functioning at a more stable level, I should say. What in your life could potentially crumble? Like the Tower, you see that card. It's like, what do you think is existing in your life right now that doesn't have a sturdy enough foundation to stay solid, to weather some kind of storm or to endure some kind of disruption? It's going to really benefit you, Gemini, to think about, putting something out of its misery that is not stable enough to endure a storm or to weather something difficult, rather than allowing it to do it on its own time, which usually ends up being a very unlucky or just not an appropriate time is when it will happen for you if you allow it to just continue. Now is a time to go ahead and let the Tower happen versus trying to prolong it or trying to hold something up that's not going to be able to weather any kind of storm. And maybe that's what you're worrying about with the Nine of Swords reversed. That's not being able to sleep very well. It's anxiety and the fear that the Tower is going to fall. I would say go ahead and let it fall, Gemini, because you're so scared that it's going to fall, or you're so scared that it's going to not stay standing up. So take your own power into your hands and, go ahead and experience it. Go ahead and go through it. And it's like you move from the first week of April when you allow this to happen into the second week. And it's just like it was so much easier than you expected because you took the matter into your own hands versus relying on the universe to take something from you, which is not the best thing to do, because whenever the Tower comes up, it is a signal that the universe is about to take something, but it sort of always gives you the opportunity to do it yourself or to end it yourself. And I feel like it's a much more painful process when you say, no, I'm not going to end this, even though I know it can't continue. I'm going to rely on the universe to end it for me. And that usually puts people in a more difficult, scattered place. So it's like if you can do it yourself, and this is a message for all of April, for some of the Geminis who may not be listening to this in the first week. Maybe you're listening to this at the end of April, for all I know. But you have this opportunity in April to do that for sure. And moving into the second week, or after you do this in April, you have strength over the High Priestess reversed. And this is like a reflectionary, you realize what you ended or what couldn't continue with you on your path the way that it was. And you take strength from that. And rather than letting it crumble you or letting it scatter you, you realize what potential you've been given from taking this matter into your own hands. And it's like once you finally rid yourself of some of these difficult energies that you've been dealing with, you start to realize that you were kind of maybe not as healthy as you thought you were, because coming in with strength, the High Priestess, and moving into the Temperance and the Sun area, that has all to do with your body and your health and your the systems in your body coming into balance once more. So again, it's a great time in the second and third week of April to start a new diet or to start a new exercise regimen or some kind of new health regimen where it's not too strict and it's not too fad diet or anything, but it's just healthy and it's easy. More thought and more processing on what you're eating, more time devoted to just what's going into your body is going to serve you very well and make you feel a lot more healthy. Nine of Swords also, that's coming from the first week, is a signal that there's not enough thought on what's going into your body, or like way too much. There's something about that that's unhealthy, and it's a better time to just become more even and balanced with what you're putting in. So yes, in conclusion, the second week is very reflectionary, and you don't want to overdo it though. The High Priestess is reversed, and because we are in equinox time, we've come into Aries time, where it is about the self, and it's about thinking about the self, but it's not about shadow work, really. It's not about really going within and finding out how you like sabotage yourself or deprecate yourself, or it's about fixing that. It's about coming out of that, but not through focusing on it or hyper focusing on it. Just by like focusing on yourself and what you're doing, you sort of come through this by sort of utilizing the High Priestess archetype halfway and not really like going too far with that at this time of the year. So moving into the third week, you guys have the Sun reversed over the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups has been really big this month for a lot of signs, and I think that it has to do with, allowing yourself to suspend disbelief if you've been through a really difficult situation, and allowing yourself to realize that things really are beautiful for you so that you can continue on and you can start manifesting and materializing beautiful things into your life that bring you happiness. Because if you don't have anything to reach for or anything to bring you happiness during this time of the year, where we've gone into Aries time, you might struggle with losing your purpose. So whatever you need to do, Gemini, that can give you a goal or an end game or something to reach out for is going to really serve you well. Because I also sense in the third week that you come to some kind of knowledge or knowing that somebody was hiding something from you, or that some kind of secret was kept from you. And because the Sun reversed is all about coming to realization of something or light being shown on something that was hidden and unexpected. So I feel that if you have something to focus on and you're striving for some kind of goal, you have something to fall back on versus letting some kind of lie or some kind of secret come in and really destabilize you and take you back into the Tower energy. You've got to be doing something for yourself. And it's really similar to Pisces and Aquarius too. If you guys have any of those placements in your chart, it would be good to watch those readings as well, because it's all about having something bigger than your relationships or having something bigger than what other people control within you. So find that, Gemini, and then make it your dying breath to accomplish. That way, when something uncomfortable happens to you, because this time of the year is not good for uncomfortable things happening, and allowing that to be the focus, allowing that to really rule you. And not that that's really ever good, but there are more supported times for it than now. And the only way that that should rule you is it should make you want to accomplish your goals even more. Anything that makes you want to be in bed or makes you want to, not do anything is something that needs to crumble with the Tower. So the third week can be really beautiful for you, Gemini, or it can be very crumbling for you. But it's easier for it to be nice. And the Sun always, regardless of whether it's upright or reversed, comes with some kind of warmth or some kind of rejuvenation. So despite maybe understanding something that you didn't expect or hearing some kind of secret kept from you, it's better to, manifest something nice for yourself because you have all that power right now. And moving into the fourth week of April with the King of Wands rooted down by the King of Pentacles reversed, obviously it's very possible that other people come in right now. I see this as new relationships for single or broken up Geminis. I see this as maybe even finally merging a fire and earth part of yourself because you're an air sign. So you're always trying to culminate those elements as well. And at the personal level, this can be a new creative project for you that you finally have the energy to not get burned out with. And it can also be a sign with the King of Pentacles reversed to, consider the budget and the monetary aspect of it all with kind of a fine-tooth comb. Make sure that you're not overspending or losing focus of the way that you make your money by this creative project. It's okay to invest in it for sure, because the King of Pentacles is all about investment and a lot of wealth. So it is a sign inherently that a lot of wealth can be gained from this creative project, but you can't go too crazy with it yet. I would wait until July for you guys. That's what I feel really strongly, that July will be a really good month for Gemini, or even towards your birthday for sure, to really get too financial with this. But small steps, baby steps are good right now. That's what it's all about with Aries, is baby steps. So, but really take time to plan it out, and planning out the transactions, planning out what you plan to spend and put in. It's a great time for that, especially moving into Taurus time at the end of the month, which is where this will be. So Taurus is great for planning money expenditures. You have a very level head generally during that period of the year to plan what your money will be and where it needs to go. So, and your central theme, Gemini, is Temperance reversed. And that makes complete sense to me because you're struggling to find the balance. You're struggling to balance, as I said, the two aspects of yourself. And I feel like the whole energy of the Tower coming forward for you guys, you really are struggling to know whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. And it can be something that for most people would really shatter them, but you're like, well, this could actually be really good for me. And that's where you need to be. And that's the sort of a Seven of Cups type of ideal as well, where you allow things that would generally be very difficult to kind of be beautiful for you, so that you take that energy and sort of turn it on its head with sort of like a hanged man type of energy. It would be nice to utilize hanged man energy this month for you guys. And you sort of see it from a new perspective, and it becomes something that really motivates you forward. You know, having temperance as well shows to me that you guys can take all of those cards that are underneath it, and you can temper it all, and you can tie it all together and turn it into something that is harmonious. But it is reversed naturally, so it seems like you're going to struggle with that a little bit. But it's like through that struggle, you finally receive what you needed, or you finally like face head on, as we move into Taurus time at the end of the month, you face head on sort of the aspect of yourself that you don't feel has been healthy, and you can kind of temper that and bring it into balance. And I feel like that should be the end game and the challenge for you in April. And I feel like just by facing it head on, regardless of whether you quote unquote, win the battle or not, you sort of get what you need from it. So just don't be afraid to face yourself head on right now, Gemini. Really, I feel like sky is the limit for you guys. Don't be too over concerned with what's crumbling right now, because it would have anyway, and you being able to take the first step and do what you need to do with that is going to reward you in the future. So yeah, I really think it can be great for you guys. I feel like I feel like May will be even better, but April is a really good month for Gemini for sure. It'll be a month that you remember most definitely, having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 major arcana cards. So you'll look back to April as a month that you really, I feel, got things together, and you really faced something, and it wasn't easy, but it really brought a lot of rewards. So if you guys are struggling at all, I recommend that you check out my guided meditation that I did for equinox time. That will definitely be good through all of April. That should be popping up on the screen right now. Also, you can book a private reading with me here if this was really good for you, or you would like further clarification on something happening to you, or you can subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I so appreciate every single subscribe and comment from you guys, and I just really hope these readings can resonate and help you on your path. So I will see you guys next month in May, and much love. I will talk to you soon. Bye.